Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine and say hello to Rocco.
Hi, Rocco Gibson here.
Recording artist, chef, yoga instructor, and he's showing us how to start the day on a positive note. And while we're hanging out with Rocco, get ready for a dose of healthy vibes for mind, body, and spirit.
Black pepper. There we go. Bon appetit. Bye, girl. We'll be back before you know it, okay? It's Friday morning. I pretty much was in a coma last night. Chris is making challah bread French toast. His mom and dad, they're up. And, we're kind of just getting the morning rolling. Once we're done with breakfast, we need to get right out of here because we have a couple of things we got to do. Chris actually was able to get a vehicle, which is great. So we're straightening that up, getting insurance and stuff. And then I think I need to get my phone replaced because it's got a couple of issues now. Due to basic wear and tear, the warranty is only up for a few more days. So today, Black Friday, we're going to go and take care of that. It's easiest to just go into a Spectrum, and the Spectrum where I bought this phone is in the mall. But that's okay. That's all right. I'm going to keep my feet on the ground. I am going to just be in my body, and that's how I'm going to get through the crowds. As someone who is empathic, the mall on Black Friday is not a good place where you want to be, but that's okay. When we got to do it, we got to do it. We're home. Babe is making a cocoa van. We are decorating the tree, and we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer playing, so this is turning out to be quite a holiday weekend. This is our Christmas tree, and the babe has already assembled it, put the lights up, and now we're just about to hang up the decorations. Almost running out of balls. Coming along. Not bad. The babe is almost done with the cocoa van. Our appetizer, Italian bread, dipped in seasoned olive oil. We really appreciate you taking time to connect with us. I
Yeah.
heard absolutely wonderful things about you. So, where are you from, and what part of your journey led you to the healing work that you do now? I'm so intrigued, and a lot of people are. Tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's like, where do I begin? Because it really goes way, way back.
of
Um,
course.
I I was actually in high school when I first had the inkling of a call to go into healing work. But at
Wow.
the time, I was very focused on a entertainment career. I
Mm.
was going to Interlochen Arts Academy as a voice major, doing like opera and classical voice, and then ended up going to conservatory and missing music theater too much. So literally transferred to the school across the street.
Wow.
And and so I graduated from Columbia College Chicago with my BFA in music theater,
Nice.
and then followed a little dream I had of working for a certain mouse. And And I got to work like basically like my two dream jobs at Disney, which was being a tour guide on the Great Movie Ride, RIP,
Wow. Wow.
and then being a character performer. Um, I was friends with Pluto and Rafiki, and then I also got the opportunity to work at SeaWorld and do
Hey.
Shamu and Crew, which is basically just all of the sea animals. And my favorite role that I got to do when I was down there was playing or friends with Ernie
Oh,
in Sesame Street, and doing the Elmo Rocks show. That was a huge, amazing thing for me. It was like a dream come true being able to do that, and that franchise, those characters are just so near and dear to so many people's childhood, and it's like an honor to be able to be behind the scenes bringing those particular characters to life for me. So that was awesome. Um, but while I was there,
hmm
I ended up getting connected with this amazing church called St. Luke's United Methodist Church. And it's basically where like all of the amazing creatives that work at like all of the theme parks go to church. It's a massive church. They like had just started a theater ministry. I mean, it was a whole thing. And while I was there, I finally like accepted the call that I've had in my life for a long time to go into ministry.
Yeah.
And so that's how I ended up in Atlanta. And I graduated from Candler School of Theology with my Master of Divinity and worked as a youth minister, a campus minister, and as a hospital chaplain. And when I worked as a chaplain was when I really started to hone into like the
Yeah.
heart and core of my healer
Oh,
part, the one who loves to do that one-on-one work,
yes.
and see people grow, and see people be seen
hmm
and being present with them for these times that are just like so sacred and so difficult. Um, and I had like a little stint because I switched denominations. And so it was really hard for me to get a chaplaincy job when I completed all of my training. And so I ended up in macro social work doing marketing for the statewide Independent Living Council and
Uh-huh.
doing disability advocacy and education,
Wow.
and learned a lot. A lot. It was a massive education for me that I'm so thankful for because at the time I was undiagnosed autistic and ADHD. And being able to have that grounding before I really came into that realization was so vital. I cannot begin to tell you. Um, and ultimately, though, I felt I really missed that healing work. And I really could care less about talking to another, big name senator at the Capitol.
Right.
I'm done. I'm
Right.
done. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's when I ultimately decided to go back to school and I got my Master of Social Work and got my, uh, and then went to Smith College, which specialized in clinical social work and doing psychodynamic therapy. And um, I'm here now. And that was a whole nother journey. That's a whole nother convo. But I worked as a school-based therapist, which I absolutely loved, but ultimately was called out to start my own practice and start doing this work I had been called to do when I was 17 at Interlochen, and received that initial call. And what's been wild is that I knew like my call was like to heal the church, so to speak, to heal the division and the separation and come back to the actual core and meaning and heart of
Mm.
where this thing began, which was genuine, unconditional love.
Yes.
And what's wild is I kind of stepped away from that reconciliation work to just come right back to it when I started my own clinical practice and I started to realize I'm attracting all these people with history of religious trauma, with deep harm and hurt um, by people in their lives, and experiencing these terrible estrangements from family and friends, and trying to navigate this new life and try to get that grief moving again. Um, and it's just wild because when I initially went to seminary, like that's what I was feeling pulled to do. And now I'm like doing it, but in this like deeper, richer way that I like never would have even imagined I'd be doing it. And what's even more wild is
Hmm.
the end piece of this story
Yeah.
is I a couple of weeks ago, like I actually it's probably been a month now, after being in the ordination process with the church for 12 years, I officially put in my resignation letter because I realized that I was shuffling my feet on my ordination because I don't believe in religious institutions
Hmm.
and that I've always felt called to the mystery. I call it the great mystery.
Yeah.
And I want to just like sit in the mystery with people and explore what the possibilities are for themselves, for the world, and then, for whatever this divine being may be. Um, and so I've like fully leaned into my mystic, and now I've like reclaimed the title Therawitch.
That
So I'm a therapist who's a witch.
Wow, wow, I love that. That's the first time I have heard that term, and
I
I
made it up.
yeah, but it's so on point though. It just seems like your journey really brought you to many, many people, and I'm quite sure who knows how many people you've touched. I mean, I'm sure there are, so many. It's a beautiful story. If a person comes to you for services, what would that specifically look like? Would it look like individual counseling? Would it look like, for example, like Reiki, or like if I came to you for services, what would I expect?
My answer is going to be yes.
No, that's great.
I
It's
have I have been over the many years of I started really truly doing clinical work as a chaplain.
uh,
And so I started clinically spiritually. I started as a spiritual support and companion. And so even when I made the transition into social work and being a therapist with like fancy certifications and all of that, that is still such a deep part of who I am as a healer, as a therapist. Um, and so I've never strayed from that. I've always incorporated it in my work. It is the grounding that I began with. So why would I step away from that? And what I've done is really just taken all of these amazing things that I've learned and integrated them. So sometimes I call myself a holistic integrated therapist or integration therapist because I really do pull from so many different approaches and interventions. But I would say that theory wise, if you want like the fancy stuff, I'm really grounded in psychodynamic as well as the existential, because if you're doing grief work, you can't not be grounded in existential work. And in spiritual work, you have to go into the existential.
yeah.
And yeah, and then I'm a humanist. Let's be real. Like I everyone's a human and I
Mhm.
really it's really important to me to have a practice that is grounded in non-carceral, decolonized, anti-racist, anti-homophobic and anti-transphobic, fill in the blank. I want this space to come in and there's actually this theory or this name that not name term that this someone coined, and of course I can't remember their name right now, but they made this term called um, preemptive radical inclusion. And I actually learned this from my I like to call my spicy therapy class in social work school. Um, and preemptive radical inclusion is all about assuming that anyone and everyone and everything is in the room.
Wow.
So even if they don't tell it to you, you assume it could be in that room.
Yeah.
And so I really took that term to heart. I think I was already, using that term, but then to have like wording for it just deepened it for me. Um, because I want people to come into this space and kind of forget they're in therapy. I joke that like I made my office to feel like you're hanging out with your best friend in their bedroom
Wow.
so that it doesn't, because this is not about pathologizing. This is about companioning.
Hmm. it's about that connection. It's about that comfort level, it sounds
Yeah.
like. That's wonderful.
Trouble finding a gift for that hard to shop for person in your life? Then you need to visit the Black Cat Shop of New Bern, North Carolina. An unusual, quirky, unique, cool, and funny novelty store. Defy the norm and become a gift giving hero with our randomly inspired fun. The Black Cat Shop is also where you can join the Ghosts of New Bern tour for a hauntingly good time. The Black Cat Shop is located at 246 Middle Street in New Bern, North Carolina. For more information, call 252 635 1410. That's 252 635 1410.
What are you working on now that we should keep an eye out for? You got any special projects that you're brewing?
And there's a lot of brewing in the cauldron.
Love that.
Wink.
Very
Um,
rich.
yeah. So one thing that um is semi-brewed, is, it's been bubbling. I accidentally started a coven.
Accidentally, but it probably really wasn't an accident. It was probably meant to be.
Yeah, yeah. There was definitely a lot of spirit guides taking over and saying, no, this is something that's happening, so we're gonna do that. I basically put there's actually like a bunch of Facebook groups for therapists to like connect with each other, and there's a handful of witchy related ones. And so I put a post in one of them, I don't remember which one, and I was like, y'all, wouldn't it be so cool if like a bunch of therapists came together as a coven and did like intentional ritual work together? Like, how powerful would that be? And then everyone was like, oh my God, that would be so cool. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. And I was like, oh, okay. So I guess I'll just like make like a survey and put it out there and see what people would want that to be. And I really am not kidding you. I had that survey up for 48 hours. I had over 150 responses.
It seems to me that you are this vessel, and it feels like universal energy, whatever you call it, is using you to help people.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one of my closest friends said to me um that I'm a bridge. Um and I was like, yeah, yeah, you're not wrong. If like if I look at all of the work I've done over my life, it's always been how do I get people to reconnect where there wasn't a way to connect before,
Yes.
right? So like building, like literally building bridges. Like it seems like you can't go over this, you know, this huge, what is it, a carapace or what do you call those things?
I don't know.
Those big deep holes
Crevice,
where
crevice,
what is it?
crevice, crevasse.
Crevice? Crevasse? Y'all, the ADHD and the autism are doing their thing right now. Okay, that's all I gotta say. But yeah, like you would think you couldn't cross that, but sometimes it's just a matter of ingenuity and getting creative and figuring out, well, how could we? Even though it's not there, that doesn't mean it can't be. It's really like leaning into that creative energy and trying to find a different way to do things. And that's one thing I really learned from engaging with the disability movement is adaptability. You
Absolutely.
have to be creative to adapt, to innovate. And um like we just a lot of times we think, oh, you just can't cross that. But it's really only because someone hasn't thought of an innovative way to do it yet. I love to live in, like, I joke that I'm probably going to write a book at some point called The Power of Yet.
Uh, you probably will.
Yeah, I have like 5 billion books in my head. It's a matter of getting the ADHD to chill out to write them. But um,
It'll probably write itself.
I know, right? But I really like to lean into that power of yet because we don't know what we don't know. Again, just like leaning into that, the great mystery is we don't know what we don't know. So therefore, we just don't know it yet. We don't know how to do that yet. I just haven't done it yet. And I very much lean into that as a healer of bringing everyone back to just because you haven't been able to accomplish releasing this people pleasing or putting a stop to like injuring your body in different ways
Right,
does not mean that you will never be able to do it. You just haven't figured out how to do it yet.
right,
Yeah.
right. And being a bridge, you're helping that person get from point A to point B. And
Yeah.
you're the person in that process. That is
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful.
So the therapy coven
Yeah.
is what it's called. And essentially, this survey churned into a Substack, which is now apparently trending in health and wellness on Substack. And we have over 220 subscribers. Um, this has been 1 month since I put that survey post out.
To happen, it's meant to happen. And when things are
Yeah.
working.
Yeah. And so far we've had some really beautiful like rituals together for the moons and for the 1111 portal. And I have a lot of dreams about what this could end up being. And I'm just leaning in and following where this, the winds are blowing, so to speak, with it. So that's
Mm,
like one big project that's happening right now.
absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
How would you like people to reach out and connect with you?
Oh man. So there's a lot of ways. So if you want to find out more about my actual therapy practice, it's called Give Into Love Therapeutics, which is actually a lyric from Rent the Musical. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and the lyric is Give into love or live in fear. And it's from the song No Day But Today, which is actually sung for the first time when they're having an HIV support group in the show. And I was like, oh my God, how amazing is that as a name for like the queerest ass therapy practice? You might have to bleep me on that one. But so giveintolovetherapeutics.com is my proper business. But if you want to find me, I'm all over the socials, and you can find me at the Quirky Queer Therawitch.
You know what? That's gonna be easy for me to find because I will be looking you up. I love that. Wonderful. Well, I have to, just once again, thank you so much for joining us on Rise and Shine with Rocco. And really, you seem like such a special soul, and you really do seem like such a messenger. I love this. I mean, psychotherapist, mystic healer. I mean, there's so many healing hats, and really, what better a person to do all of that? Thank you for what you do so much.